And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Handler, Ohio. Jim Funderburg along with Chris Willega tonight on a Friday night as the Bears travel over to Patriots land here this evening. And they're looking for the first win of the season here as the Bears come in tonight at 0-8. And the Patriots tonight at 2-3 in the league, and overall I think they're 4-4 right now, with an opportunity still, and talking to Randy Roberts here just a minute ago, maybe to still sneak their way in if that's possible. They're Big Chris with a win tonight and a win next week. And obviously next week for these guys, they will actually head to Wauseon.
That'll be a good game.
That'll be a good ball game. Yep. You're right.
Yep.
Very good ball game. For tonight, though, it's going to be a battle here of a couple of young teams, really. The Bears, as we've followed them all year long, as they're starting to grow up and trying to find their way. It just seems like every time, Chris, they get something going, they find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
Absolutely.
Penalty, whether it's a mistake with a holding call when the play goes all the way around the left end and we're holding on the right end. And then the next thing you know, we'll fumble, we'll throw an interception. At times in between that, though, there have been moments when we've looked like a football team, and hopefully maybe tonight will be that night we'll get an opportunity to at least give these guys a ball game. It's always a battle when you come over to Handler.
Absolutely it is. And, you got to talk to Coach earlier in the week and talk with him a little bit. But, it's just he said it all along. It's a building process. He's trying to build a process. He's not building just for this year. It's a process. And so these kids are going to grow and they're going to do better. And, things are just going to get better and better as time goes on. But they're a young team, and it's just a tough situation.
Well, I'll tell you, I think you take a look at this football team tonight. And again, we have been calling these games all year long. It's our 15th year doing these games. It's hard to imagine. But when you have a sophomore quarterback like Zach Nobis, he starts out here, he gets going, he gets rolling, and you do have a situation where that young guy, when he first started, he was worried about where is the rush coming from. And he would look to the right side of the line, to the center of the line, to the left side of the line, and then he would look downfield. At least we've now progressed to the point, Christopher, where he's looking down the field. He might be a little late pulling the trigger yet, but he's getting a little more confident every week that he plays football.
Yeah, and you definitely see a difference. He's patient in the pocket. He's looking for multiple different receivers when he has the time, and he's able to move along with his feet and kind of move the pocket left or right as he needs to.
The one maybe wild card in this ball game tonight as we get ready to kick things off here. We're about 10, 12 minutes away from kickoff tonight, and I've got to give kudos to Eric Herman and his crew tonight. We started on the second floor here of the press box, and about 15 minutes ago the decision was made that we get the prime seats tonight down here where WNDH and these guys are. We're on the front row on the first floor tonight in the penthouse suite, Malinga. I don't think they've ever let guys like you and me on this area, so we're in hollow ground at this point in time.
Absolutely.
But one of the
Dave Kleck has sat in this seat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Numerous times, in fact, over the course of the last 25 or 30 years, I'm sure he has graced this part of the press box. But tonight, it's you and me on the first floor, and I guess we'll be able to watch a ball game a little bit closer. But we've always had a lot of fun over here in Patrick Henry. It's not been successful all the time, but the last few years we've come over here, we've done extremely well, and we've had some good broadcasts. And I guess getting to my point, the one wild card maybe tonight, talking to the coach after his interview the other day, he expects to put Devontae Royster into the lineup tonight at a running back or even a wide receiver spot. So you have a young man who played an awful lot of JV ball last week. He ran the ball very well and very hard, and all week long they have been practicing him as a running back. And when you take a look at that young guy as a sophomore, 6'2", 204 pounds, decent speed. Last year as a freshman they used him a little bit as a wide receiver and a running back. This year he got bigger. He grew an awful lot in the offseason, and he was playing defensive end there for a while. So it's going to be an interesting call tonight to see how Devontae will do here as his first night here at Patrick Henry as an integral part of this offense. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch that. I'll tell you what, tonight the ball game is being brought to you by Bryan Athletic Boosters, always backing our athletes. Good luck to the Bears all season long. Bryan Ford Lincoln, we're just down the road from high prices. Bryan Municipal Utilities, your local cable and high-speed internet provider. Genesis Healthcare, Bryan Center, we are your friends, we are your family, and we are your neighbors. Krill Funeral Home, commitment to service is our #1 priority. Northwest State Community College, helping you take that next step to a new job or a new career. Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, all types of services for all types of people. The Plaza Motel, your home away from home. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Tompkinson BMW, home of the ultimate driving machine, and Whelan's Automotive, dealership quality at aftermarket pricing. Why don't we take a step away and hear from a couple of those sponsors, and when you come back, you'll hear from Coach Redhead as we get ready for Golden Bear football here on BryanSports.com. Well, Coach, the last 2 weeks are no favor. To you guys, we've talked about this. PH is probably one of the toughest places you're going to play. I know probably in Florida you had some places like that, and then you get to go to Liberty, and Liberty is one of those little bowl type arrangements where it almost looks like you should do a 1954 version of a high school football game. Okay, so a couple tough spots to win in, and a couple teams are playing pretty well. But let's look at PH right now. I mean, this is a bunch that's coming in again, good size, just like the Delta boys. When you go across that offensive and defensive line, there's some big kids over there.
Yeah, and the advantage is a lot of them play both ways. We've got some two-way players, but the big thing that we've had all year is let's try and get them in the fourth quarter and wear them down and get our opportunity. You got to if we're in it, we can win it. And we got to stay in it and not give up the big plays and not shoot ourselves in the foot offensively.
Yeah,
so, we're full steam ahead and got a good game plan going in, and we're using a lot of motion and misdirection and things, and going to try and catch them sleeping and get them over pursuing and things. So
yeah, okay, sounds good. They've got the top running back in the conference, or one of the top in the Johnson kid. Another one of those challenges on a Friday night with that running back spot.
Yeah. A lot of people we played have got the guy that can take it 80. If you don't put hats on the ball. And, it's just another week, and, we played those guys, so we just got to play sound defense and run to the ball and gang tackle. Went from a wing tee last week to kind of a wishbone this week, a whole different look. But a lot of similarities in motion and those types of things, going back to old-fashioned football almost. Yeah, they're going to come in and they're going to try and run and pound the ball and then use some play action. And, like I said, we've really looked at it and found some good keys and things that, we can give our kids a chance to be successful, and, hopefully we can get out there and execute. One of the biggest shockers, I think, to me last week was that Wauseon win over Swanton, okay? I really thought it was going to be a heck of a ball game being played in Wauseon, but for Wauseon to come out a couple touchdowns ahead surprised me. Yeah, they really got after them, and, they're sharpening up at the right time. Usually this last three-game stretch is when you want to be firing on all cylinders, getting ready for the playoffs, and I think that's, they've definitely got the kinks out and they're starting to roll. Yeah, they really are. Well, we'll head into Friday night. It's going to be a good one. What's the key to winning this one here this week? Well, same thing. I'm a broken record. Yeah. We can't turn the ball over like we have. And, fourth down and short, we got to execute. We can't jump off sides on the goal line. We can't fumble the snaps on a 4th and 1. We've got to do the little things in pressure situations. And, that's the thing, inexperience, even though, we played 8 games, we're still getting some inexperience and, mistakes. And, we've got to cut that out. I told them, you guys, you're veterans now. You played a whole season, so let's go. Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, it's Friday night. It's football here on BryanSports.com. We've got the ball game for you right here. Coach, good luck to you. Thank you. You bet. And Tompkinson BMW, basically the sponsor of the Extra Point every week, and it's been a pleasure having those guys around all year long. Home of the ultimate driving machine, and tonight that's exactly what the Bears hoping to be as we get ready to receive this kickoff. Bears will have the football first. We're going to be on offense. Color back deep along with Josh Jones back around the 15-yard line. And ready to kick this ball for the Patrick Henry Patriots is Trey Zimmer. Zimmer, a junior, and this, Chris, is another football team with not many seniors on it, only 6 that I'm counting on their roster right now. So this is another young, inexperienced football team. 2 teams tonight, both in the same direction. Neither one of these teams depend on a lot of seniors, but hopefully this will be a night maybe when the young guys can put together a big Friday night of football and maybe come back with a win from Hamler. This kick will be short. Jones will pick it up at the 25, at the 30. He'll cut to the visitor's sideline and be knocked down close to the 40-yard line. I think they're going to mark him somewhere around the 39. So it will be Bears football, first down and 10. J.J. Reddick, the tackler for Patrick Henry here tonight. And we're going to take a look here and see how this is all going to work out. We do believe that tonight it's going to be Zach Novus at quarterback.
Blues Creek is in at a wide receiver, and he's up on the visitor's side. Doubles on the top, and that little offset eye look here for the Bears, as they have Peters, I believe. In fact, that's Rittenhouse that will get that ball, and Rittenhouse will get forward for just a short pickup of about a yard to the 40-yard line. Rittenhouse, I believe, and Belts are the running back. Peters, one of the wide receivers, along with Blues Creek, and Josh Jones. Novus goes over to the sideline to chat a little bit with the coach. And back into the huddle, and the Bears have a 2nd down and 9 as we're just underway here at BryanSports.com.
A little different look than we've seen from the Bears in different weeks.
No doubt about that. The coach said we're going to see a little more misdirection here tonight as we bring Jones in motion. Straight handoff goes to Damon Belts, and Belts finds the running pretty rugged on the left side as he'll get a couple of yards, maybe close to the 42. And Trey Zimmer with the tackle for Patrick Henry, and with that it'll be 3rd down at about 7 for the Golden Bears here on their opening drive of the night. And again, we expect to see some new faces maybe in that offense as the night goes on. But right now, Bears with a pretty standard lineup. Whitler, Taylor, Perkornik, Beck, and Sanchez, the linemen. And the Bears again with that offset eye look as they stack the 2 running backs. Here comes a blitz. Little screen pass to Damon Belts. He's got the ball. He's headed across the 45, and he's going to be very close to the 1st down. In fact, where he fell, I believe, is going to be just enough for the 1st down as he'll be close to the midfield stripe. And that will be a pickup of about almost 8, give it a 1st down for the Bears. So a good way to start the night here for the Golden Bears, Chris. You really don't want to go 3 and out against the Patriots tonight. You'd like to be able to grab a little bit of momentum here early in this football game.
Absolutely, and it's nice that you can throw out of the backfield, and Belts is in the right place at the right time.
Now you got the offset eye to the left side here of the quarterback, Nobis. Bell's in the fullback position. They will sweep the left side, and then Nobis decides to cut it back to the middle of the field. Looked like it was going to be a quarterback sneak or a sweep to the left. And he got to the tackle slot and decided to cut it back in, and he'll get ahead for about 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 here, just under the 10-minute mark of the 1st quarter. If you just joined us, Bears get the football on the opening kick, and they've got good field position here with their opening drive.
They did. Starting your drive at the 39 is always a good place to be.
Peters will be the wide receiver right in front of us here on the home side. You have Creek and Jones split out to the visitors' side. Quarterback will drop and throw across the middle, and a completion down at the 31-yard line. That's Blues Creek with the catch down at the 31. A 17-yard pickup between Nobis and the former quarterback, Blues Creek.
That's nice that he's getting involved tonight.
Well, again, that's another thing that's happened to us this year, Chris. You started this whole thing. Blues was going to be the quarterback. That kind of got changed just a little bit as the year goes on. Now you got all these guys starting to play a little bit more, getting more reps in these spots as Creek again in the slot. He'll go in motion now, heading to the visitor's side. They'll turn and hand to Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse right up the gut, across the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Give him 3.
The thing I like to see is the changing the plays up. 1st down run, 2nd down run, 3rd down pass. It's predictable. To throw like he did on 2nd down, and particularly kind of on a slant, a little deeper slant, it's nice to see.
8:51 and counting, opening drive of the football game tonight on BryanSports.com. Great to have you with us here this evening. Again, that eye stacked to the left of the quarterback. Creek will go in motion. He'll head toward the visitor side. Turn to Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse has room between the guard and tackle on the left side. He'll be across the 25 and down to the 24-yard line. And that will be close to a 1st down, but he's about a yard, maybe 2 yards short. Going to put him at the 24, closer to the 25, so it'll be 3rd down and 3. And down here, Chris, you'd have to believe, being inside the 25, again, 2-down territory for the Golden Bears.
Yep.
Belts will now go into a traditional I, and they'll actually put quarterback under center. Don't see that often, do you? Damon Belts on the belly play, right up the middle. He'll be close.
Real close. I think he might be just a smidge short.
See where they finally down him, but little dive play. Ickes on the stop there for Patrick Henry. And the officials look over to the sideline, and they're going to whistle play dead here and bring those sticks on to see how close we really are.
If he doesn't have it, it's a 2-yard gain, and they're short by a little smidge.
There you go. Herman says we're a $5 foot long short there, and we're actually going to have some $5 foot longs here a little bit later. That's always a good thing, Chris. Then when they
I think
feed
he's
you,
got it.
He's got it by almost half the football. There you go. Herman was saying that he had it by that much is what he's telling us, so we just weren't listening well enough here tonight. First down, Golden Bears. Inside the 21-yard line here of the Patrick Henry Patriots. And the Bears, if they can play like this, Chris, they could have been competitive all year long. But
Absolutely.
Just sometimes with a young team, it takes you that long. Josh Jones goes all by himself on the visitor side. He's split out wide. Creek in the slot on the home side, and Peters, the wide out here on this side. Nobis drops, and he's throwing deep. He's got Peters in the end zone, but it's just a little too far. In fact, that was Jones, I believe, that had come across from the top side all the way down to the home side, and in the home corner of the end zone, couldn't quite run that one down. In fact, that was Blues Creek. So Creek had gone in motion to the top side and then came back around. He was open. He had a couple steps if that ball would have been put on the money. Instead, it's second down and 10. And again, Chris, talking about going against tendencies, boy, there's one that was would normally be a run all year long, but that a throw into the end zone. Creek now comes this way. They'll turn and hand it to Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse goes around the left end. He'll be inside the 20 to about the 19 and a half, so only a pickup of less than 2, and we'll set up third down and a long 8 yards here for the Golden Bears. One thing that I was impressed with in the pregame warm-ups tonight, too, Chris, was Josh Jones' ability to kick the ball. Yeah. He was booming that thing. Wind blowing right in the Bears' face as they head up the field here tonight. But on the other end, when he had the wind behind his back, he was kicking things 50 yards. So it will be an interesting night. Offset eye again. Damon Belts goes in a little bit of motion, sets up on the left side.
He's got him right there.
Going to throw it down to the flat, but he throws it over Damon's head. And you're right, Chris, he was open. He was a little bit short of that first down, but he would have gotten most of it. Instead of being fourth down and a couple, it'll be fourth down now and 8. And the Bears will keep the offense on the field.
And if it wasn't overthrown, he had some people, or he had some running room after he caught it. If he wasn't going out of bounds as the catch.
And the ball was kind of led towards that sideline, so it would have been tough for him to catch it and go that way. But also Nobis had thrown it probably 5 yards over his head. Peters now the single receiver here on the home side. They'll bring Blues Creek into the backfield. Screen pass, left flats to Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse will get inside the 20 down to about the 18, but he'll be short of the first down, and it will be Patrick Henry football, first down and 10. Peterson on the stop there for PH. And the Bears, after a nice drive that stalls out inside the 20-yard line of Patrick Henry.
12 plays, 41 yards, 5 minutes, 18 seconds.
And that ball will be placed down on the 17-yard line, first and 10 now for Patrick Henry. Mitch Bonner has been the quarterback for this bunch here all year long. He has completed 25 of 56 passes for 467 yards, a touchdown, and 5 interceptions on the season. And in fact, I think that's Moss number 4 in there at this point in time, playing quarterback. He will turn and hand off across the 20-yard line to about the 23-yard. The one problem we're going to have, Donnie Johnson, I believe, was the running back, but on this angle that we have right now, it's a little bit difficult to catch some numbers from this angle. But we'll get used to them as we go. The running back situation for these guys, Trey Zimmerman will be a wide receiver. Brad Pfister is the fullback. He's one of the seniors, 6'2", 216. The guy that has really been lighting it up is Donnie Johnson. Yep. Johnson is the number 1 scorer in the conference this year and the number 2 rusher, and he's already gone over 1,000 yards for the season. Moss will throw to the flat into Bonner's hands, and Bonner will get up the field. He'll be out of bounds, but I believe it will be a face mask that will drag him that way. Hausch with the tackle for the Bears, but I believe it's going to be a inadvertent face mask or maybe a flagrant face mask. Either way, I don't think he meant to get it, but he did grab the mask and pull Bonner out of bounds. And it is going to be 15, so 15 tacked on to the first down. We'll take this football all the way to the Patriots' 45-yard line, first down and 10. get these guys a little bit closer here, and we'll be able to tell you these numbers. Jarrett Moss is a sophomore. He's 6 foot, 150 pounds, and he plays quarterback, and he is now in the shotgun look in that backfield with Jones next to him to his left. Doubles to the top, single to the bottom, low snap, and pick it up off the ground and hand it to Donnie Jones. He's trying the right end, spins out of the first attempted tackle. He'll get a couple of yards. Johnson will get about 2 out to the 47-yard line. Hausch makes the tackle for the Bears.
The last 3 plays have been low snaps, so maybe that's something the Bears can take advantage of.
Pfister, who had checked out, checks back in at fullback, and I'll tell you what, he's a big fella.
Yes, he is.
Mason Findle is the number 2, one of the wide receivers, just checking in. They will send he, along with Logan Weiss, up to the top of the screen here.
Gotta hurry, there's only 3 seconds.
Double running backs in the backfield, and they'll turn and hand the ball to Johnson. Johnson breaks a tackle in the backfield. He'll cross the 50 and get into Bears territory at the 49-yard line. So that'll set up a third down now at about 3 of maybe a short 4. Let's call it 4 for Patrick Henry. If you just joined us, the Bears had the football, had a nice drive in their opening possession, but it stalled out inside the 20-yard line of Patrick Henry. And they turned the ball over on downs. PH now has the football for their first attempt of the night, and they are trying to make some things happen. 3rd down and 4. Fake handoff, pitch to Johnson. He's going to be corralled in the backfield, and he will be knocked down on the opposite side of the 50 as the Bears, Farrell, one of the first guys in there, Clayton Farrell, and he had help with 2 or 3 other white shirts. Bears in there all white tonight with the gold helmets and the purple trim. And Donnie Johnson will lose about 3 yards on that carry. And it'll set up a 4th down now for Patrick Henry. And
they might punt.
Going to punt this thing away as they are on now their side of the 50-yard line at the 49. Bonner back to kick this one. And you got a quarterback back there, so you always have to worry about the fake with this bunch. And he is going to roll to his right and then kick it. Nice high hanging kick. Josh Jones will get away from it, let it bounce. It takes a big bounce, and it's down inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. J.J. Reddick picks it up off the carpet as it comes off of the ground here at Patrick Henry, and the Bears will have a long field when they get this football back. 3:28 to play. We'll step away on BryanSports.com. Bears with the first play from scrimmage, and it will be a dive play that will go for very short yardage.
That's about all you can do down here. Actually, they lose a yard.
Trying to get out of the hole, Rittenhouse runs the football, and he will actually lose, as you said, Chris, probably a half a yard. So you're going to have to do you measure in halves, Chris?
No, I'm going to round it to a yard.
Okay. Is that little thing down there, that little Subway logo? Does that have any meaning, whatsoever? Devontae Royster in the football game as advertised. Now he is the I-back. Rittenhouse the fullback. Creek goes in motion. They'll turn and hand it to Devontae, and Devontae breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then there's just too many red jerseys. He'll get knocked down at about the 1 is where they're going to say. Devontae actually lost a couple yards on that first one. Ickes on the tackle for Patrick Henry, and the loss will make it 3rd down now and about 12, almost 13 yards for the Bears.
Bears went 2 of 3 on 3rd down in that first drive.
As we said, the Bears tonight in their white with their gold helmets and the purple trim. PH tonight in their red uniforms with the white letters, the white helmets with the red and blue trim. And again, now the Bears set up in their backfield. Ball's on the ground, and I'm not sure whether the Bears are on it or not. It's going to be, they are, but they're in the end zone. It's a safety. Handoff was trying to get to Devontae Royster, but the connection was never made when he and Nobis went down to recover the football. They ended up falling on it in the end zone, and the first 2 points of the night will go to the Patrick Henry Patriots as they go up 2-0. We'll take a timeout here on BryanSports.com. Back here, Patrick Henry, Jim, and Chris on a Friday night. We have another Chris that's sitting back right now, probably in a tuxedo with a steak dinner in front of him, listening to the ball game, checking on scores around the area, and there's a lot of big football games around. The Bears will put this ball on the ground And Josh Jones will kick it basically from the 20-yard line as if he were going to kick this football off to start this ball game. And a little squib kick with a big bounce is going to be fielded at the 46-yard line. Bears hoping for maybe something that was just going to go the wrong direction, but Pfister was able to corral the ball at the Bryan 45-yard line, and that's where Patrick Henry will have their second offensive series here of the evening. Alex Vanderbush will be the wide receiver clear on the top of the screen, and Logan Weiss here on the home side. Two running backs in the backfield along with Moss, and he's going to look to throw this football, and he's got his man wide open. Vanderbush picks that football up and gets it inside the 35-yard line down to about the 32. So Vanderbush with his very first catch of the night. And Moss will check out, and Bonner now will come back in. So they are flip-flopping quarterbacks on us here tonight, Christopher. We're going to keep our eyes on that. Findle will be the one wide receiver here on the visitors' side, and then they have a receiver here in the flank on the left side. They'll pitch to Johnson. Johnson sweeps left end. He breaks a tackle but can't get away from everybody. And it is Zach Nobis that makes the tackle for the Bears after Johnson gets to the 31-yard line. Give him a couple. Chance Taylor also in on the help there. And I'll tell you, that is the one guy you can see already, Chris, that when this young guy, it's hard just to pull him down with one person. He's quick enough and elusive enough that it's going to take you a couple of guys. One guy has to slow him down, and somebody else has to come over and help him. Help you just a little bit. Now. Get Johnson in the backfield. They'll turn and hand it to him. He'll go right off right tackle across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. And it'll be third down now and about 4 here for Patrick Henry. Devontae Royster now in at that right end spot for the Bears.
Something else about PH is you see a lot of times teams just kind of walking slow, and these guys, they huddle up and they break out quick. They all rush up to the line faster than most any other team you've seen.
39 seconds left to go in this opening period. 2-0 if you just tuned in. Patrick Henry with a safety, and they're trying to make some things happen after that. We've got Johnson corralled in the backfield, but I believe it's going to be another face mask call.
I don't see a flag. Do you see a flag?
Yeah, it's sitting right there between the two officials, and I believe the flag is going to go against the Bears. And
again, a personal foul?
Brant Hall basically just grabbed a hold of that mask as he was going by Johnson and pulled him down. Yeah, I tell you, on that one, he had both hands full, a good handful of that one. So I couldn't see the last one to tell you whether it was flagrant. It was right in front of the bench. But this one, he had all of that mask. They're going to call that one every time. As Brant Hall looked like he had a big play to knock Johnson down in the backfield, but instead he grabbed too much face mask. And the 15 yards will put the ball inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, first down and 10, Patrick Henry.
30 yards and penalties so far for Bryan.
They'll send triples to the top, single running back in the backfield, and that's Johnson. And they will hand it to Johnson. They'll sweep left. Johnson breaks a tackle. He's inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. And again, the Bears had an opportunity to get him in the backfield, but he ran through that first tackle, picks up the first down. They spot the ball down at the 5. Hausch with the tackle for the Bears, but first down now and goal for the Patriots with 1 second, and that's going to do it. In fact, they will not get an opportunity to score any more points in this opening quarter. So we'll flip-flop the ends of the field right now, and when we get back, Patrick Henry will have the ball on the 5, first down and goal to go here on BryanSports.com. Back here at Patrick Henry as we get ready to open everything up here in the second quarter. And PH on the 5-yard line looking to stretch a 2-0 lead after the safety. And then the subsequent free kick that gave them the football on their own 45-yard line. And at this moment, they are now on their 5, knocking on the door after the 15-yard face mask penalty and then the nice run by Donnie Johnson. And talking to their PA guys here in the break, and they said Johnson missed a couple of games this year, and they really have missed him when he hasn't been around. They will hand Johnson the football. He will break a tackle. He's still on his feet, and he will be in for the touchdown. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, we're making contact with him in the backfield.
Yes,
not wrapping him up, but he's able then to find that hole, and just like that, instead of a loss of 2, Donnie Johnson able to make that a gain of 5 and a touchdown and stretch this lead to 8-0 here as we just start the second quarter.
Yeah, they are making contact in the backfield, but you just don't bring them down.
Tough kid to bring down. In fact, they said that Johnson missed the Liberty game, and that was a big loss, and a couple touchdown loss, in fact. And then they also missed the Archibald game, and that was a 7-6 loss that day, so just a 1-point game. So those 2 games could potentially be W's for this team, as Bonner will call his own number, going for 2, and he will be knocked down at the 5-yard line, well short, as the Bears right there to knock him down. And the extra points are no good. Jake Hausch, the first guy there to make the tackle, and the Bears have a guy down on the field right now as they ask for the training squad to come in. We'll step away and check on who that injured player is and give you an update when we return. Bears down 8-0 here on BryanSports.com. Back here at Patrick Henry, Chris, and I tell you, you made a good comment off of Mike here just a minute ago. I thought that was a great idea to try to go for 2.
Absolutely.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. You get it. You're up 2 scores effectively because it's 10-7 or 10-0. I mean, but you don't get it. You're still up a touchdown, a 2-point conversion.
You really are.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Who was the injured? Devin Wagner, the injured.
I'm trying to.
Player?
Wagner's on
Wagner's
the field.
out,
He's on the field right now, so I think it was 5-1. Let's go that way. Whitler,
Wagner's,
Chris Whitler, I believe, is the guy. I think the 5 that we saw was 51. Chris Whitler, he's at the back of the pile over here. He's sitting on the bench right now talking to the trainers. So Wagner is on the field right now, so I believe that was big Chris Whitler. And all of a sudden now you've got to find a guy to step in at that left tackle spot for you, too. That'll make it tough. Bears have Culler and Jones back deep at the 20, waiting on this kick. And a short kick will be fielded after a bounce. There you go, by Jones at the 35-yard line. He backpedals a couple of steps, and he'll be stopped at about the 33.5. Nice.
Nobody was fielding it, though.
5 different Bears kind of sitting there waiting for somebody to call it. It was almost like a baseball play. Somebody needed to call for the football at that point in time. They let it hit the ground. Jones able to pick it up, and then he had to retreat a couple of yards to be able to try to get some room. And by that time, too many red jerseys around him. They drop him on the 33.
Jim, that's 59 that's on the sideline injury.
There you go, 59. Sounds good. So that's good. Big Chris Whitler. Whitler's not on this field, though, right now. No big deal. He might just be taking a play off. Royster again in at the fullback spot. Nobis looks to throw on first down. He's going deep. He's looking for Josh Jones.
I'll tell you what, Jones got tangled up there with number 11 for Patrick Henry, and not entirely sure that was not pass interference there.
J.J. Reddick and Josh Jones were doing a little dance out here on the PH 45-yard line. Ball was overthrown by quite a bit, but again, I missed the contact.
It was like downfield blocking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it will go as an incompletion. It'll set up a second down and 10 now.
I like the call, though.
Go deep. Go deep, young man, as they say, right? Doubles go to the top, single to the bottom. Again, that offset eye look for the Bears with Royster at the fullback spot and Belts at the halfback spot, and they'll pitch it to Damon. He'll try to sweep the right end, and he'll be knocked down for a loss of a couple. And again, lack of decision-making. You got to get that ball out a little quicker. You had the run set up, but you got to get Damon Belts the ball just a little bit faster than that because you allowed the PH defensive front to penetrate. And by the time the ball got pitched, everybody knew where it was going. And again, that will be something that Nobis will work on over the winter months here. And by the time we get to it next year, I think you'll see much better things out of Zach Nobis.
They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage.
There you go. 3rd down and 10 there for the Bears. Nobis will drop. He's got some heat. Throws it into the flats, trying to hit Devontae Royster, and it will be wide of Devontae and set up a 4th down and 10 for the Bears, and they're going to have to give the ball back to the Patriots here with 10:57 to play in the second quarter. Good coverage there. Royster was the intended receiver, running that little drag route coming out of the backfield. Having a hard time being able to get that. Vanderbush will go back for the Patriots at the 25-yard line. Josh Jones going to pound this one. Vanderbush will take a step inside the 25, break a tackle. He's across the 30, up the visitor sideline at the 40, and he'll step out of bounds right around the 44, maybe the 43-yard line. And PH will have decent field position as we're going to head over to Christopher Bryce, I believe. Is Mr. Bryce on the line right now, or do you have some? Oh, he just sent them to you.
Well, he's sending them to me.
Mr. Herman is going to be the guy. Mr. Bryce is just doing all the negotiating.
He's doing all the work. I'm just reading.
I got you.
Liberty Center is trailing Swanton 7-14 right now. Evergreen is trailing Wauseon 0-9, so safety's all over the league tonight.
We assume that could be a touchdown.
Well, that could be too. Delta 7, Archibald nothing. Other games we're watching: Van Wert at Defiance, Crestview with Bluffton, Ayersville and Hicksville, Wayne Trace, Tenora. Tenora's leading that one 14-0. Edgerton with Holgate, Eden 6, Montpelier 0, Napoleon 0, Perrysburg 6.
Bonner on the jet sweep will get into Golden Bears territory as he crosses the 50 down to the 48-yard line, and Brandon Farrell on the tackle for the Bears. And referee's looking this over to see whether he got all 10 or not. He's awfully close if he didn't, and where they're going to mark it, they're going to say we're going to need to bring the sticks in and measure this one.
I can't even see the ball, so I think where the sticks are, he's got it.
From where it's sitting right now, I would have to say that you're right, and I was amazed that they called for a measurement.
It looks like a full yard, by a full yard.
But the officials, I'll tell you what, we've seen an awful lot of them. On a Saturday afternoon, the young Jimmy Bellamy is yelling and screaming, why aren't they bringing the chain gang in? In this case, it's about the length of a football, and it will be first down and 10 for the Patrick Henry Patriots at the Bears' 48-yard line. Clock stopped with 10:36 to play here in the second quarter, and the Patriots up 8-0. They got it the hard way, a safety and a touchdown, and then the missed two-point conversion. Moss will be the quarterback again, and triples will go to the top, and more than likely one of those guys is the former quarterback, number 5, Bonner. They'll turn and hand it to Johnson, and Johnson has room, right side, breaks the tackle, up the sideline. He's at the 25, and here he goes. 10-5, touchdown. Well, I'll tell you what, you allow him to get loose like that. He's very, very quick, and it takes more than, as we've said, just one guy to bring him down. So Johnson will go 48 on that one, and the Bears now trail 14-0 with the extra points coming. We have seen some pretty good running backs over here at Patrick Henry in the past, but boy, you're right, Chris. He reminds you of, I don't know, I can't go back in their history and tell you that there's anybody that I see like that, but he is one of the quickest running backs we've seen in the NWOAL for quite a while. In fact, we're going to get Randy Roberts here maybe tonight here in the halftime break and get a chance to talk to him just a little bit about that.
They're going to go for two again.
Moss drops, looks, throws, end zone, too tall for everybody. And so it's 14-0 right now. The sophomore missing the wide open receiver in the end zone. And with 10-11 to go here in the second quarter, Bears trail by 14 as we step away here on BryanSports.com. Well, the one thing about this ball game tonight, Chris, it's moving along pretty well.
It is.
Running efforts by both these teams here tonight has kept that clock moving.
20-minute first quarter.
And things are moving right along, and we're about ready to get the football back again.
This will be the fourth time Bryan has the ball.
Hard to imagine. And after that first series, that first drive, it really looked like this was a football team that maybe had figured a couple things out. Then they stalled out down around the 17-yard line.
2 3 and outs. I mean,
after that, you're right, 2 3 and outs. Tough times. Bears will have Jones and Keller again back at the 20-yard line. Last kick hit in front of them, and in between they and the guys in front of them. This one will be caught at the 32 by Kuba.
I don't think he meant to fair catch that. I think he meant to let his teammates know he was going to catch that. But he did stick a fair catch signal up.
Put his hand in the air, and he had to stay put. He had probably at least a half a dozen yards or so ahead of him if he could have been able to reverse that decision, but instead the Bears will have the ball on the 32-yard line. As you said, the fourth time of the evening here for the Bears, and maybe fourth time is the charm here for these Golden Bears tonight. Rittenhouse and Belts, again, the running backs now. Belts the fullback, Rittenhouse the halfback. They'll bring a guy in motion and turn and hand the ball off to Rittenhouse, and he'll get a couple. He'll be close to the 35-yard line.
It's totally interesting to me that Rittenhouse has carried the ball 6 times, and Belts has only carried it 3. I mean, it's like 1 week Rittenhouse is the workhorse, and he carries the ball all the time. 1 week Belts is the workhorse. You know what I mean?
You wonder whether Damon has gotten over that little ankle injury he had 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
You know, maybe he's not 100% right now. He lines up again in that fullback spot. Rittenhouse behind him. They're to the right of the quarterback, Nobis. They will send Blues Creek in motion. They'll hand the ball off to Damon Belts, and Belts will go forward across the 35, out to about the 37. It'll set up a third down now at about 5 for the Golden Bears. They'll keep moving that ball, that stick forward, but
they've dropped from 67% to 40% on third downs.
yeah, we need to jump that average up just a little bit here. Third down and 5 for the Bears. Again, they'll stay with that offset eye look as Damon Belts, the fullback, just in front of Zach Nobis, and Rittenhouse, the running back, behind him. Nobis will drop, looking to throw in the flats, looking for Damon Belts, and again, Belts was looking for the ball to his right shoulder. Ball was thrown behind him over his left shoulder, and it will be incomplete. Fourth down now and 5 for the Golden Bears.
Just too much miscommunication.
Well, again, it gets back to what we've talked about all year long, and that they're never easy to go through a season like this one, but unfortunately, you get the good ones like we had a couple of years ago where we had a football team that could pick up a third down and 35, and now you got a football team that has a hard time with third down and 5 as Jones knocks this down to Vanderbush. He'll catch it at the 25, head up the visitor's sideline and be knocked out of bounds close to the 30. Lucas Nye will make the tackle for the Bears. And with that, PH will have the football at their 30-yard line. 8:40, clock stopped here, second quarter. Bears trail by 14 here, 14-0. Halftime, Golden Bears band is here. And we will feature those guys tonight. Like I said, Randy Roberts is around, and Randy covers an awful lot of these teams over on this side of the Northwest Ohio League Conference, over here on this eastern side. And we'll talk a little Swanton football with him and some PH football. Bonner with the ball. He's going to roll around that right end. Had some room, then he ran out of room as the Bears, with some good pursuit, they'll knock him down at the 35, so he'll get about almost 5 yards on that carry.
You know, Patrick Henry had their first drive. They picked up a first down and then had to punt, but after that it was touchdown, and it was quick touchdown.
Quick touchdown are never good. 8:11 to go here. The clock is moving in the second quarter. Patrick Henry with the football. They gave him about, boy, I'll tell you what, they gave him about 4. So that stick must have been at about the 31. They'll turn and hand it to Johnson. Johnson runs through the first guy he sees. That's Kuba. Kuba was able to knock him off his pins, but it'll be ahead for the first down as he falls down eventually at the 42-yard line. First down, Patrick Henry.
The 7th first down for Patrick Henry.
PH starting to get this offensive machine rolling here again tonight. And I'll tell you, they have been pretty solid. We wondered as we watched them from afar there a little bit, Chris, as to how they have done this year. A very young team, but they're making some things happen here with the legs of Donnie Johnson. And Johnson already over 1,000 yards for the season as they'll throw out to Weiss in the flat. And Weiss has the football at the 46-yard line. So he'll pick up about 3, and it'll be second down and about 7.
Only the second pass for Patrick Henry tonight.
Well, you know, when you got a guy like number 21 in that backfield,
yeah,
you're probably going to feed him the football as much as you possibly can, right?
Absolutely.
Not a bad idea.
He's already touched it 10 times tonight.
Well,
Only one of those plays was negative.
Vandenbush will go to the top of the screen right now. Johnson again, the only running back in the backfield. Bonner goes in motion. They'll turn and hand it to Johnson, right side. He's got room, breaks the tackle into Bears territory. They got him by the ankle right around the 40-yard line. If he'd have broken loose right there, he was on his way. But instead, the Bears were able to trip him up at the 40-yard line, and it will be first down and 10 now for the Patriots right there.
7:16 remaining in the second half. It's 14-0 Patrick Henry, and young Mr. Johnson is over 100 at 103.
There you go. Already tonight, huh? Already over 100 yards. That's pretty amazing. So it'll be BHS Football. Under 7 to play here in this first half. Moss will roll to his left and throw to the second level, and he's got his guy. That's Weiss. Weiss has the connection. Don't have a clue who 56 is, Eric. That's what I was looking for myself. I was digging out everything I could find. Don't know what that number is. Even in their roster, I've got a 55 and I got a 57, but I don't have a 56. So I'm going to have to keep digging here a little bit farther. How's that?
Unidentified Golden Bear.
An unidentified Golden Bear. Eric Herman asked me who 56 was. And at this time of the year, who knows? It could be one of the freshmen they brought up here from the lower levels. Turn, and they'll hand it off to the big fellow this time, Pfister. And Pfister will have some room. I'll tell you what, he's been the lead blocker for a while. And this time, Pfister will get to about the 25-yard line before Chance Taylor will make the tackle. Give him 5. And this big old road grinder of a Patrick Henry football team tonight starting to eat up some yards and eat up some clock. Bonner will be Johnson will be the only running back in the backfield here again. Pfister will go in motion and comes off the wing, and they'll hand him the football. He'll go around left end and pick up almost enough for the first down. I think he's going to be just a little bit short. Pfister ends up at about the 22-yard line. Clayton Farrell with the tackle for the Bears. Third down and a couple now for Patrick Henry as we're under the 6-minute mark here, heading towards the halftime break. Been pretty interesting so far, though, Chris. This has been a pretty well orchestrated and a very solid offense for this Patrick Henry team tonight. They are just making things happen. 6 seconds here on the play clock. Pfister goes in motion. They'll fake it to him. Roll towards the right, throw towards the middle. They've got a completion at about 88. The 15. That'll be enough for a first down.
88.
And
Michaelis.
Brock Michaelis with the catch. And that'll set up a fourth down situation now for Patrick Henry as they're at the 15-yard line. Clock stopped with 5:16, and just as I say that, they wind it back up and start it all over again. It will be under 5 minutes by the time they run this play.
Was a pickup of what, like 5?
Somewhere in that ballpark. First down to 10, ball to 15. Handoff goes to Pfister. He has some room. He's inside the 10, down close to the 5 before the Bears were able to make a tackle right there. And with Pfister now inside the 10 at the 5, Patrick Henry again knocking on that goal line. So now all of a sudden you're seeing the big guy. They were going with the speed here early, and already Johnson over 100 yards for the night. Now they go for the big pounding fullback, and he's starting to find some big holes on the defensive line of the Golden Bears. 4:41, clock moving. PH up 14-0. Now they'll go to their money guy, Johnson, and he'll be in. Donnie Johnson comes from the right flank, takes the football from the quarterback, heads off the left guard and tackle spot, and basically just walks into the end zone.
10-play, 70-yard drive, taken 4:08. Capped off by Johnson, 5-yard touchdown return.
4.5 minutes now before the halftime intermission here. 20-0, Patrick Henry.
Will they go for 2 again?
I would think so. You probably do it until you get it right, Chris, if nothing else, huh? They've tried it a couple of times, been unsuccessful. They might as well try it one more time. Moss again in the backfield, the quarterback in the pistol look. He'll look towards his right and throw the ball. And again, this one is knocked away. Decent defense by Garza for the Bears. The pass will be incomplete. The points will be no good. But that still leaves Patrick Henry up 20-0 with 4.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter on BryanSports.com. Back here at Hamler, Jim and Chris on a Friday night, and it's been a rugged Friday night here for the Golden Bears as they find themselves down 20-0 with 4.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Bears had that one drive to open everything up, Chris, and from that point on, it has been a rough night for the offense. And once you really get this Patrick Henry offense on the field and get them revved up, man, I'll tell you what, you can see why they have been able to come up with some big wins here this year, and they're still hoping maybe to sneak their way into a playoff spot before this year is over.
They're a good team.
Obviously need to win a game tonight and then end everything up next week against Wauseon. Short kick, Bears across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. That's Culler. And Culler gets it out to about the 43. It'll be a first down and 10 for the Golden Bears. So let's see if the Bears can't get just a little bit of momentum. Remember that the Patriots will have the football to open everything up in the third quarter. So the Bears need the opportunity maybe right here to find a score before the half is over. And Devontae Royster back into the ball game. He will line up at the halfback spot. Rittenhouse will be the fullback. Doubles here on the home side, single receiver to the top. They'll turn and hand it to Devontae. Devontae has a little bit of room as he'll cross the 45 to about the 46-yard line. He'll get about 3. Kent Peterson on the tackle there for Patrick Henry. And again, a little confusion as Nobis and Devontae Royster kind of ran into one another in the backfield. Just a little bit, they bumped. But those are the things that you get when you really have not had any time together. And Royster, obviously, his first opportunity in the backfield all year long with Zach Nobis. Nobis will drop, looking to throw the screen pass. And he had it, but it's going to be intercepted as he overthrows the pile. And he hits a Patrick Henry Patriot right in the numbers. Can't tell you who's got it. J.J. Reddick is the young man that comes off the pile. Bears had that one set up, man. All they had to do was get the ball to the running back. Reddick had 4 white shirts about ready to block him. Instead, the ball thrown over the intended receiver's head, over the head of the blockers, and right into J.J. Reddick's hands. And Reddick kind of got slobber knockered there a little bit there, but because he was looking to block him instead, was tackled there, and it will be Patrick Henry football on the Bryan 47-yard line. Again, a pass that, if it's thrown where it needs to be, might be enough for a first down and a nice pickup into Patrick Henry territory. But when it's overthrown like that, a very opportunistic J.J. Reddick sitting there waiting for the football, and he takes the football away and gives it back to PH. They'll go deep to Bonner, and they've got him inside the 25-yard line at the 24. So Moss puts it on the money for about 23 yards. And PH, are you asking whether they're going to go quietly into the half? I think not. They're looking to put more points on that scoreboard. Brandon Farrell, the young man, made the tackle for the Bears.
Was that Moss to Bonner?
Moss to Bonner, yes, sir.
Wow.
23 big ones, make it almost 24. And it'll be first down now with 3.5 minutes to play in this first half. Johnson and Pfister, the two running backs. Pfister to the visitor side, Johnson to the home side. They'll hand it to Johnson. He'll follow everybody towards the left side, cut it up off left guard, and he'll be ahead to about the 19-yard line before Dylan Wagner makes the tackle. So Johnson with about 5. Every time he picks that football up, he's a threat to go the distance,
yes,
Chris.
Is. Already with 13 carries.
Got to be happy when you just corral him into a 5 or 6 yard run. And they'll show that same look. This time Pfister will be on the home side. Johnson on the visitor's side. Moss in between. They'll hand to Johnson. They'll sweep home side. Johnson gets corralled in the backfield, and will actually stop him for no gain. In fact, he might lose a. Yeah, no, he got ahead, didn't he? Huh? Dylan Wagner made the tackle, thought they had him in the backfield, was able to sneak ahead for maybe 2. So it'll be third down at about 3 now. First guy there, Jake Hausch, made the slowdown. He wasn't able to bring him down right away, and when he snuck away from Hausch just a little bit, he was able to get up the field for a couple. So third down now and 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Bears down 20-0. PH with the football. Hand the ball to Pfister. He has room. He'll have the first down. He's inside the 15. Wagner makes the tackle, and he's also on the ground. Wagner looks like maybe he hurt an arm or a shoulder or a little bit of everything as he's up and trying to shake all that off. Pfister will have enough for the first down as he's inside the 15 to about the 13, maybe the 13-yard line. So he got 3, maybe 4.
Interestingly enough, this is only the third red zone trip for Patrick Henry.
Clock's moving, under 2 to go here. First half. Moss and Johnson in the backfield. They'll hand it to Bonner on the jet sweep. He'll try the right side, and we have yellow flags all over the place as Bonner gets to the 10. Jacob House will make the tackle for the Bears, and it will go against PH. So instead of being second down and
did he make the call
to go?
Oh, there he goes.
They'll call it a holding call and bring the ball back to the 24-yard line. So it'll be first down now and 21 from the 24. I think that's a new scoreboard, isn't it, over here, Chris? I mean, they used to be to the left, I think, 2 years ago. All of a sudden, I keep looking towards my left to find that scoreboard. It's to the right. Johnson with a handoff, left side, kicks it outside. He's got room. He's down to the 10, at the 5, and he will cash this one in. So Donnie Johnson will go 21 big ones for the score and make it 26-0. And nobody, absolutely nobody, got a hand on him all the way to the goal line. Good job by PH to seal everything off there on the left side of that offensive line. And the Bears just watch Donnie Johnson sprint to the corner.
21-yard pickup?
21-yard pickup for the touchdown. Johnson now somewhere around probably, 135 yards or so, Chris? You'll give those to me in a minute, I'm sure.
135 on the nose.
There you go. How's that, huh? That one living brain cell, man. I've got it now linked. I've got it tethered to your computer somehow. They'll go for 2 again. Moss will drop back, and he'll look to throw right across the middle of the field. This one tapped away. Intended receiver was Bonner. He's looking for an interference call, won't get it. So PH, the only thing they've been unsuccessful with tonight have been their 2-point conversions, as they've scored 6, but they can't tag on that extra point. Minute and a half to go, first half, and we'll walk away. 26-0 right now, Bears down on BryanSports.com. Well, there's a minute and a half left to go in this first half, Chris, and the Bears have just found themselves on the wrong side of a steamroller here tonight.
Yep.
As they're down 26-0 after what appeared to be a good start to the football game, as the Bears got the ball with the opening kickoff and drove it all the way down inside the Patrick Henry 20 to the 17, and then turned the ball over on downs. And from that point to this point, it has been nothing but Patriots football and Patriots offense, as they have scored 26, starting with that safety, and then 24 consecutive points.
Consecutive touchdown points.
Yep, without any extra points, as they've gone for 2 each and every time. Ball goes to Josh Jones on the kick. Jones comes up, fields it on the 35, and he will be headed to about the 38-yard line. So the Bears will have a minute and 25 to play. They have all 3 timeouts if they can get something rolling. And it would be good to see these guys just get a little bit of confidence here tonight.
Yeah, the drives have not been very good for Bryan. Turnover on down, safety, punt, interception is not a way to win a football game.
Well, and again, that last interception, if that ball would have been thrown where it needed to be, it was a nice screen pass all set up with blockers in front, but the ball thrown just too hard. Damon Belts will go right side around the end, 40-yard line across to the 42. So give Damon about 4.
The running has been tough for him. He's got 11 yards on 5 carries.
Wow. Well, you talked about Rittenhouse and Belts a little bit ago, and Rittenhouse there the 1 week kind of sat out a little bit gimpy, and Belts has been out a week with a bad ankle. And you've got a situation with both these guys that this is their first year of being that featured back in this program, and it's been a long, long year for everybody here so far.
Ooh.
Bad snap, and that's going to cost us a couple of yards as that ball bounced. Zach Nobis had to field that one on the skip, and he'll lose a couple of yards as the Patriots all over that play, and it will be Golden Bears football, 3rd down now and about 8. 23 seconds to go now in this first half. As the Bears taking their time, they'll have at least one more play, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one's going to be
They don't even have to play
tossed deep down the field just to get one more effort, and that's what they'll do. They'll send a couple wide receivers here right in front of us on the home side. Peters will go all by himself on the home side, and they're not even going to snap the football.
There's no way.
That will do it. First half is in the books. Bears find themselves on the wrong end of a 26-0 score as we take a break here on BryanSports.com. When we come back, we'll have the Bryan Golden Bear Band, and then we'll get you all caught up with stats and scores on BryanSports.com.
Back out at Patrick Henry. It's 26-0. Patriots over the Bears. Here's the Bryan High School Marching Band.
Fans travel from city to city and some from game to game. Our opener is about an American band coming to your town. This chart was produced by Todd Rundgren and released on July 2nd, 1973. It hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was this group's first hit under their new name. Here is the Bryan High School Marching Band performing Grand Funk's We're an American Band. Our next chart is the third collaborative effort by these two musical hit machines. Jennifer Lopez described it as her song and an anthem of what she needed to do in her life. This up-tempo dance pop song was on her 2012 Greatest Hits album. Oh, don't be bashful and get up and move, because here is the Jennifer Lopez Pitbull hit, Dance Again. Our Closer was written, composed, and performed by Bob Dylan and released by him in March of 1965. It was covered and released by our next artist in June of 1965. And it was their first hit single and is the only Dylan-written song to hit #1. Here is the Bryan High School Marching Band featuring Maha Pratt on trumpet performing the Byrds' Mr. Tambourine Man.
Halftime at Patrick Henry, 26-0. Patriots lead. Chris Malenga and Jim Funderburg. Jim, you ready for some stats?
Yeah, let's. Randy was wanting to know too. He was over here just asking. He said, "Man, I'll tell you what. Those stats that the Golden Bears put up in that first half have got to be impressive."
Yeah.
Is what he said. So
3 first downs for the Bears, 1 by rush, 2 by pass. 14. Patrick Henry, 7 by the rush, 6 by the pass, 1 by penalty. Bryan has 22 yards of rushing on 15 attempts. Yikes. Patrick Henry, meanwhile, 171 on 21 attempts. Bryan is 3 of 8 through the air for 27 yards and a pick. Patrick Henry, a perfect 5 of 5 for 56 yards. Bryan ran 25 offensive plays for 49 yards total offense. Patrick Henry, 29 plays for 227 yards. 11 minutes and 13 seconds for Bryan, 11:58 for PH, and again, we don't adjust for kickoffs and things like that. Bryan was 2 of 7 on third down. Patrick Henry, 3 of 4. Bryan missed their only opportunity, a fourth down conversion. Patrick Henry was in the red zone 3 times, scored on 2 of those. Bryan was penalized twice for 30 yards. Patrick Henry once for 10 yards. Look at some individual statistics. First for Bryan, they're not pretty. Leading back is Damon Belts with 11 carries or 11 yards on 5 carries. Rittenhouse has 10 yards on 6 carries. And then receiving, Creek had that 17-yard touchdown or 17-yard reception, and that was about it for the through the air. But for Patrick Henry, Johnson has 135 yards on 15 carries.
Wow.
Pfister, 21 yards on 4 carries. Bonner, 15 yards on 2 carries. And they are 5 of 5, through the air as combined quarterbacks. Bonner had that 23-yard reception, and then Van de Bushy had 13, and Wiss had 14. So there you go.
Well, it's kind of an interesting situation. I've got Randy Roberts with me right now. Everybody knows him around here. Bon Vivant and the man about town. I think stage and screen, newspapers, and the whole works, right?
You guys are too kind.
Well, we try to be as kind as we possibly can. let's talk a little bit about this because you see an awful lot of the football teams on this side of our conference. And you see them on more of a regular basis than we do. This PH team that we kind of thought was going to struggle maybe just a little bit this year because they're somewhat young. Boy, I'll tell you what, they have a football team, though, over here, don't they?
Yeah, here lately in the last, I'd say 2-3 weeks is probably the best football they've played this year. Donnie Johnson has just been battling a couple of injuries, been some leg problems, and they'd have them play at 60%. And as Coach Kirkendall said earlier this year to not to me, but to people in our newspaper, I'd take a 60% Donnie Johnson over almost anyone else in this league anyway. So, they had him going at 60, 70, 80%. Now you're seeing him close to 100, and you've seen the job he's done here tonight.
I'll tell you what, we were trying to decide who he reminded us of, and I really can't say in the 15 years we've been doing this thing that I remember anybody else that runs quite like he does. He's very fast, and also he's very difficult to bring down, too.
Yeah, I remember guys that maybe were as fast and guys that were as physical, but never anyone really that had that combination together. The best one I can think of, and Jim, this might have been right at the start, maybe Aaron Schmidt at Wauseon.
Okay, all right.
In the late 90s. I know I played against him a couple of times, so the fine teams at Evergreen that we had that won, I think, 1 and 9 and 0 and 10.
Okay.
So you can tell the effort we put up against him, but guys like that, I can't really think of anyone, maybe the combination of everything he's got. If you take his parts away, and even if he had one of them, if it was just his speed, you would take that. If it was just his physicality, you would take that. And you put them both together, and he's a really, really good high school football player.
And Randy, Bryan doesn't have a back like that and hasn't had a back like that. Could you imagine, an offense like last year's with a good running back, a really good running back?
Absolutely. I know you guys had Bacon there for a while, and that was a kid that I thought played real well. And same thing that I think you guys saw with Donnie Johnson. You saw him in a game, you'd see him with a banged-up hip or a bad ankle or a hand or whatever it is, and you would just fit there going, God, I wish I could see him at 100%.
Right.
And now you're kind of seeing what Donnie Johnson's able to do here at full strength.
Well, we would rather see him tonight at like 20% strength or even in street clothes sitting on this side, just watching and waving to everybody up here, maybe joining us in the booth. But, boy, I'll tell you what, he has been impressive, and you can understand why he's right at the top of the conference in a couple of different stats.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know led the league in rushing and played like 4 of 6 games. And,
yeah.
And, he's going to, I imagine, going to win that kind of far and away, past anyone else. But I think one thing, if you talk to Coach Kirkendall, one thing he's probably just as, if not more proud of is the fact that his defense has a shutout through one half and has held Bryan to, what'd you say, Chris, 50 yards of offense?
Yeah,
the first half.
It's 49 yards of rushing.
He's going to talk more about that than what Donnie, because Donnie does it every week for him, so he's probably just kind of used to it.
Sure. Let's talk about some of the other teams in the conference right now. And, we are not going to go anywhere at the end of this season, obviously. Maybe hoping to win one against Liberty next week, which is, going to be an uphill battle for us at that point in time. Yeah, they really are. But let's talk about who might get in this year. What's your thoughts here? Playoffs right around the corner. Who might come out of the NWAL this year?
Kind of looking at it now, I would say 3 teams you're looking at. I think Wauseon is going to get – I think Wauseon's going to end up winning tonight. I know they had a touchdown lead at the half over Evergreen. I think if they win tonight, they'll be okay. I think even if they lose tonight, I think they'll be okay. But you're looking at that, and I think whoever wins the Liberty Center Swanton game tonight probably gets in the playoffs as well. And Patrick Henry has a chance. They need to win their last 2. Up 26 and a half. They got to like their chances, and they head to Wauseon next week. So it's a tall order for them. But getting a Division 6 school and getting a win over a D4 school, that'll help out in the computer points. And I'm not even going to begin to tell you that I understand how the computer points work. I'm like everyone else. I go to Joe Idle Sunday morning. I'm not one of those guys that can predict or anything like that. There's people way smarter than me who do that, and I am more than happy just to use their information. But to answer your question, I would say 3 teams from the league get in.
You've seen Swanton. I was a little bit shocked last week when Wauseon took Swanton apart the way that they did. You didn't happen to be at that game, did you?
I was not at that game, but that's what Swanton has been able to do this year. They have some very good athletes. I know the Macomb kid at quarterback is going to be unbelievable. Gunnar Oaks is a junior, and the kid really can do anything. And a funny story about Gunnar Oaks, he played baseball all year. Their baseball team got knocked out in, I believe, the sectional final. Went ahead and joined the track team. Didn't do any dual meets all year. Went to state in the high jump.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
Walks out under the track. All right, I think I can do this.
I'll tell you what Coach Redhead said about that guy, and we talk every week. the only kid he's seen up until this week. Obviously, he had not seen Johnson. He felt like that was the only kid that had an opportunity to play D1 football on the next level,
I
that he'd
believe it.
seen so
I'm
far.
not sure if football's his best sport. He's a solid basketball player, a pretty good baseball player. Of course, his dad is going to be the new girls coach at Swanton this upcoming winter. So, he knows the game of basketball, and that'll help him out. But I'm not sure. Football might not even be his best sport.
Wow.
And his dad's the golf coach, so I imagine if he wanted to spot and wanted to go play golf on Thursday, he'd probably go do that too.
He's probably about a 2 handicap.
Probably wouldn't Swan. He's probably shooting under par. He's probably had around a 69 today.
That's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, we really appreciate your time here at halftime. Before we get you out of here, man, what's on your horizon in the next couple of weeks? What's ahead of Randy Roberts?
Well, probably have some tournament soccer coverage. Of course, I'm writing now for the Northwest Signal Napoleon. I've been there 2.5, 3 years now. It's hard to believe, but I know I'm heading over to Kalida tomorrow. Got Liberty Center Kalida girls soccer, and we'll fit in some soccer next week. We'll see who's left for districts, and we'll get a football game next week, and more than likely probably some playoff action first part of November.
Fantastic. Well, you're going to be a busy guy as always. So
I know it never ends, does it?
It never does, especially for a guy like you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Randy Roberts, our guest here at halftime. Bears find themselves down 26-0 as we step away on BryanSports.com.
Back at Patrick Henry, 26-0 at the half. Eric Herman, you got any scores for us?
I do have scores.
Okay.
I got to take off my headset because it's delayed. It is Swanton over Liberty Center, 21-14 there at the half. Evergreen trailing Wauseon, 7-15. Delta, 28 over Archibald, 7. That's at the half. It's Van Wert, 35. Defiance, 13 at the half. Bluffton taking Crestview on tonight. Bluffton leads 21-16 at the half. Also at the half, it's Hicksville, 6. Ayersville, 7. Wayne Trace, nothing. Tenora, 42. That's at the half. Tenora with another run for state here.
That's right. They got that game next Ayersville next week.
Ayersville next week for that big matchup. It is Edgerton nothing, Holgate nothing. Chris assures me that is a no score yet at the half. Eden 6, Montpelier nothing at the half, and Perrysburg 18 versus Napoleon 7 at the half.
That Perrysburg team, Jim, they've just had lots of success over the last couple of years, and I've been trying to think about why that is. And I saw a story in the newspaper in the Blade, and they were talking about how Perrysburg is like the biggest growing school district in Northwest Ohio, and they are just getting so many kids in there that they got a whole bunch of kids that come out in like their lower programs, their elementary programs, and they build it up, and they're just going to be tough to beat because all the development is getting annexed into Perrysburg. That new Costco, and they just growing and you know what I mean. And so it's just interesting to kind of whereas some other schools are shrinking. They've had to build multiple buildings in the past several years, and they're looking to build more, and it's growing.
It's amazing how things do cycle around the world of high school football. There's no doubt about that, Chris. Well, we're about ready to get things going here in the third quarter. Why don't we take one quick break here, Mr. Herman, and when we come back, we'll kick things off. Bears find themselves down by 26-0 here at halftime on BryanSports.com.
26-0, getting ready to kick off the second half of action here at Patrick Henry. Jim Funderburg finishing that sandwich.
Oh, yeah, man. You got a little nourishment here at the half, right? Get ready for the second half, the comeback here for the Bears. 28-26, huh? That's my prediction right now.
Is that what you're predicting right now? What did they give you to drink here? I'm just kidding. No.
Bears going to kick this thing off. And PH ready to receive the football to get things going here in the second half. And we'll have to.
Onside kick.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, right at this point in time, almost anything.
No matter where they have it, they're going to be able to do it. Why not?
A little kick that will be short and be fielded at about the 25-yard line by Patrick Henry, out across the 30 to about the 31, maybe the 32, and PH will have the football first down and 10 as they open everything up here in the third quarter. Well, Chris, I'll tell you what. Interesting to talk to Randy. Randy gets to see all these guys week after week and for the Signal, and it's really kind of fun to talk to a guy on this side of the conference every now and then.
We talked about Bryan's drives. Patrick Henry's first half drives. Punt, touchdown, 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 touchdown. Doesn't get any better than that.
Moss, the quarterback, he'll hand it to Johnson. Johnson will cut it right up the middle of the field. He'll be across the 35-yard line before he runs into a host of Bears there at about the 37-yard line. So
5.
For Johnson, they'll give him 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5. In fact, they're almost going to give him 6, Chris. So second down and 4, make it, huh?
Tell you what, he better, after he gets 25 carries, he better be out because my score sheet doesn't go that high.
Well, we'll talk to Coach Kirkendall about that. I'm sure he'll be happy to accommodate you on that one. How's that? Pfister in the backfield. They'll turn and hand off to the wingback. He's around the visitors' end and will be wrapped up by the Bears just short of the first down. Hausch makes the tackle for the Bears. And now we're going to have to go digging for some numbers here, and we'll probably have to do that all night long from this point on here, Chris.
Bears, or Patrick Henry third and short, like real short, and they are 75% on third down.
That was Steve Deem with the carry, 33. And as you said, third down in a very short situation here.
Check
as the
for
quarterback
sneak.
will go under center, turn and hand to Deem again, and he will have the first down easily. Out across the 45, close to the 50. Lucas Nye will make the tackle for the Bears. It'll be first down and 10 now. Patriots right at almost the midfield stripe here, actually the 49-yard line of Patrick Henry. They'll send 2 wideouts here. Fentel is the guy here closest to the home sideline, guy in the slot. 2 backs in the backfield, and they'll hand it to Pfister. And Pfister, the big fella, will work his way into Bryan territory. Short pickup of a couple. Lock off the tackle for the Bears. Give Pfister about 2 as we're just underway here, third quarter in Hamler, Ohio. Second down and 8 now for the PH Patriots.
This chain gang's confusing because they line up and give him like 4 yards and then they back it up.
Mag drops, rolls towards the home crowd, throws the ball to Weiss. And Weiss will have the catch down around the 40-yard line, and that will be enough for the first down. As he'll get 9,
Just
needed
enough.
about 8, and first down and 10 for Patrick Henry.
16th first down.
Ball right at the Bryan 40-yard line. Brant Hall, the nose tackle for the Bears right now. Devontae Royster playing one end. And Robert Kimball shifts now with Royster as they go to a 4-man front.
Good old Bobby.
Johnson, the only running back in the backfield, will turn and hand him the ball, and he has room left side.
What a tackle.
Little shake and bake before he gets knocked down after he gets a few. And Lucas
Rittenhouse.
Nye makes the tackle.
No, it's Rittenhouse. 32, right?
Rittenhouse made the tackle. He'll get 4.
Is that Pfister?
No, that was Johnson.
Okay.
Johnson got 4, second down and 6.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Johnson alone set back in the backfield.
Another
Bad
low
snap, and they'll flip it right back to Moss, and he's going to throw the ball deep on the flea flicker. And we have pass interference on Garza down deep at about the 10-yard line. Garza made basically, I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to do right there. He's trying to get in front of the receiver, who was Vanderbush. And Vanderbush was down around the 10-yard line. Garza grabbed him, kind of threw him sideways, tried to step in front of him to get the ball. And it would be pass interference on Garza. What do we have? A holding call as well. Holding will be declined. Pass interference will go against the Bears. So multiple fouls on that one. I think Vanderbush, I believe, was held first and then interfered with. So I believe it was the same 2 guys involved in that little dance down there around the 10-yard line.
Now 45 penalties.
Ball will be placed on the Bryan 20 now. First down and 10 for Patrick Henry. Bonner goes in motion from his right wing, and they'll hand him the ball in the jet sweep. Around the left end, keeps his balance inside the 20, and it'll be dropped at about the 17. Brandon Farrell and Clayton Farrell, actually, both the Farrells out there on that side. 35 also on that tackle. So second down, they'll give him about 6 or give him about 4 to make it second down and 6. Clock moving at 8:18. Obviously, one more score moves the clock to a running clock here once we hit that 31 mark here in the second half. Oh, 35?
Is it 35?
I thought it was 31. Moss drops back deep, throws it onto the flats, and this time some pretty good coverage there by Hausch down around the 8-yard line.
Fun fact, Jim.
Yes, sir.
That's the first incomplete pass thrown tonight.
Oh, wow, by Patrick Henry. Stops the clock with 7:57 to play here in the third quarter. 26-0 if you just joined us right now. The Bears down. Patrick Henry picked up a safety to start the scoring here early in that first half and then scored 4 touchdowns and missed all the extra points.
Because they went for 2.
And they went for 2 every time, trying to chase those 2. Johnson in the backfield with Moss. He's to the left. They'll hand the ball to Johnson. Straight up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, falls backwards across the 15 to about the 14, and I think he will be short by a yard or 2.
It is 30.
30. Okay.
30 runs the clock.
There you go.
Not that it's been a big deal tonight because the clock's ran because they've made completions or they've ran it.
7:36 to play.
That was, since the first quarter, the shortest run that Johnson has had. Just 3 yards.
26-0 right now. Patrick Henry on top. Clock is rolling. PH with the ball inside the 15. They'll turn, hand to Pfister, and Pfister just moves the pile. He'll be down to about the 11, maybe the 10. That'll be enough for the first down. Lockoff will make the tackle for the Bears along with Hall. And the officials will take a timeout because they're going to need to measure.
I don't think he's at the 10.
This crew is very, very good at measuring tonight. Jimmy Bellamy would be happy to be here tonight. Bellamy always wants to see these guys measure. And this will be about the fourth time tonight we've caught a measurement.
Short.
And he is short. So the fourth down play will be unsuccessful. And the Bears will have the football after they stop PH on the 15-yard line. About the 11-yard line, I'm sorry. Clock's got him at the 10. Ball's really on this side of the 10, close to the 11. So 7:11 to play, third quarter. Bears will have the ball for the first time here in the third quarter. And is that Blues Creek, I believe, playing quarterback right now. 17 in for the Bears. Patrick Henry almost jumped off sides, but they reset. Creek drops to toss, and he's going to throw it deep. Going for color, and he's got him at the midfield stripe.
Wow. Wow.
I'll tell you what, that probably would have been a call, I would think, like against Vanderbush, who was on coverage. As Vanderbush really didn't turn around, he just kind of jumped up and down and waved his arms a lot, and somehow Blues Creek able to hook up with Sam Culler out here at midfield. So the Bears have the football. First down, as maybe Blues Creek going to be able to come in and breathe a little life into this offense. Triples to the top. Creek has some pressure, but he'll roll to his right and get away from it. He'll call his own number, and he's across the 45 and down around the 40. And they're going to say he went down at the 45 and slid to about the 43. They'll bring it back out to the 45-yard line. It will be second down now and about 5 for the Bears. 6:27 and counting. And the Bears all of a sudden look like they have a little bit of life with the new quarterback in here. Triples on this side, one receiver to the top. Creek, the junior, who started at the quarterback spot for these guys, has some time. Now he'll go to the right, roll out of the pocket, up the sideline, and step out of bounds down around the first down sticks out about the 40-yard line. So
He's
it'll be, I
close.
think, a first down or very close to it. And I'll tell you what, Chris, this is the best we've seen Blues play this year, too. Officials signaled the first down once they get over. He was right in front of the chains. And it will be Bears football, first down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Be interesting to talk to the coach a little bit about this on Monday night. What
Absolutely.
caused him to decide to go to Creech here in the second half?
I mean, you're down 26. You give yourself a chance to win. You got to
put the junior back in,
see what happens.
He started everything. Had kind of a rough start here this year. Triples to the home side, single to the top now. Single running back in the backfield. Low snap, but Creek has the football. He's under some heat in the backfield. He gets loose. He's at the 40, and he's up the visitor's sideline. Inside the 35, steps out of bounds somewhere around the 32, and a flag follows him out of bounds.
I think he might have been hit late out of bounds. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it was a hold.
We'll see what the officials have once they get close here to the midfield stripe. Personal foul goes against PH, and I think you're right, Chris. I think as Blues crossed over towards his bench, he got hit on his way out of bounds, and this personal foul will move the Bears inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Bears, who all of a sudden have found some life. They send doubles to the top, doubles to the bottom. Damon Belt's the only running back in the backfield. Blues Creek the quarterback. Just under 6 to play third quarter. Bears down by 26 as Blues throws into double coverage in the end zone, and this is going to be picked off. Mason Fennell is the young man that made the catch. Heading towards Josh Jones in the left corner of the end zone. Double coverage on Jones down there. Creek pulled the trigger anyway, and Fennell was able to go up the ladder and pull it back down in, and the turnover gives the ball to the Patriots at the 20-yard line. But I'll tell you what, that was at least fun to watch that offense move down the field. So 5:50 now to play in this third quarter, as the PH offense will come back out after the turnover, and the Bears again have had those problems all year long, and again thrown into double coverage has been kind of normal for this football team this year. Handoff goes to Johnson. He's going to sweep the left end, but there's some fired-up Golden Bears, and they will stop him before he gets back to the 20. He'll lose a couple of yards, and I think that's the first time tonight he has a negative carry, right, Chris?
No, he had one in the first quarter, -3, but he's been pretty positive since then.
Pretty positive kind of guy. So the Bears tackle Johnson for a loss of a yard as they mark it down on the 19-yard line. And that was Brandon Farrell along with Matt Harold. Harold, a freshman who's coming up and getting some playing time now for Coach Redhead as the year winds its way down. Handoff goes to Johnson again, and this time a little more success with this run. And in fact, it's not... Yep, it is Johnson again, getting up off that pile at out at around the 19 or the 29-yard line. So it'll be third down about a yard now for Wauseon as they get 10 on that second down carry out of Donnie Johnson. Johnson's heading towards 2 bills here tonight with this running style. Keeps things going.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No problem. Pfister and Johnson in the backfield. Moss will go under center, then he hands it to his big fullback, and Pfister gets tripped up, but he will fall forward across the 30. That'll be enough for the first down. Chains will move. First and 10 Patriots with 4:21 to play here in this third quarter. Tell you what, it's amazing when the offense picks it up just a little bit how much the defense picks it up as well.
Yep.
Breathe just a little bit of life back into this football team when you see things like that. Now the Patriots taking a little more time as the clock rolls all the way down to 4:12. Play clock at 13 here as they come to the line of scrimmage. Handoff will go to Johnson, counter on the left side, and Johnson will be ridden down for just a short pickup, maybe about a yard. Devontae Royster on the tackle. They'll give him almost 2 when they finally unstacked everything. It'll be second down and 8. 3:46. Clock is rolling here at Hamlin. Bears need a turnover after they threw that pick in the end zone after a nice drive. Following the fourth down defense by the Bears that got the football back. Throw down into the flats is complete at the 35 and then out of bounds at the 36 to Weiss. And Weiss gets about 4 on that as Farrell knocks him out of bounds. Third down for the Patriots. They give him almost 5. Third down and 5, let's call it.
Wow, he got a lot farther than it looked when the pass was completely went out of bounds.
They've got it 6 on the
I thought he was
scoreboard,
on
and
the
you're
other,
right.
I thought he was on the other side of the 35, like at
Yeah,
the 34.
like the 34. Instead, it's the 36. So it's third down now and a long 5 for Patrick Henry. Hand off to Johnson, left side. He's got the first down. And boy, he was one shoestring tackle away from getting a big gain as he's tripped up at the 45-yard line. It'll be first and 10 at the 46 for PH with 3:17 to play here at third quarter.
19th first down of the night for Patrick Henry as opposed to 6 for Bryan.
Been a long year. It's been great to have all the folks out there listening to the ball games on Friday night, and then obviously the ball game replayed Saturday night on BMU Cable on Channel 3. Now that Mr. Herman's back from Texas, he's got a little drawl going. He was off for 3 days, and he kind of talks like Dolly Parton right now. Hand off to Johnson will get him into Golden Bear territory as he crosses the 50 to about the 48-yard line. Heard a lot of y'all and do you get a little barbecue while you're down there, Big E?
Yeah, but Dolly's a little north of where I was at.
Oh,
there.
okay, all right.
She would be down there in
maybe
the,
Tennessee
Hills there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Supposedly.
Willie Nelson then, I guess. Willie's from Texas.
Do you
He's
know
an
who was-
Austin boy.
Do you know of Texas?
Yeah.
Do you know who was down the street playing from us?
No.
Corn. 2 a.m. Corn is still rocking out just down the street from us.
There you go. And you happen to be
On the other side of the hotel trying to sleep.
there you go. What a guy. You know, all business. Eric Herman. Second down and 5 as Johnson will try the right side. He's got a corner. He'll have the first down at the 40. Bears will knock him down right there. Jake Hausch and Lucas Nye, the two guys there on the stop for the Bears, but not before Johnson gets another first down at the 40-yard line. And we're at the 2-minute mark now of the third period.
He's at 178.
Well, I'll tell you what. Talking to Randy and everybody up here, it would have been fun, I'm sure, to watch this guy be healthy all year long if you're a Patrick Henry fan. And it would not be very pleasant if you are in the shoes that we're wearing tonight and having to watch this guy run all over the place because what an athlete this young man is. Pfister comes in motion. Moss is going to be knocked down to the backfield. Bears not going for that one. Brant Hall with the sack back of the midfield stripe. Hall saw Pfister run away from the football, and then he just continued to chase Moss back, and he'll drop him at the 49-yard line.
Loss of 9. The first sack of the night, too.
Second down now and 19 as that first down play went south. Heading towards the end of the quarter.
Need a couple more of those.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There have been moments this year. I mean, again, as we've talked, there have been times when this team has looked like it was starting to figure some things out, and then just some minor mistakes here and there that have kept them winless. Johnson, middle of the field. He has room, cuts it towards the visitor sideline, breaks a tackle, stiff arm down the sideline inside the 30, and knocked out of bounds, probably 5 yards out of bounds, down around the 20-yard line. Everybody up here wanting a late hit. No handkerchiefs on the field that I can see anywhere.
29 yards.
And Johnson basically just had a wide open lane right up the middle of the field. When you give him that much territory, he is just absolutely impossible to pull down. 44 ticks and the clock has stopped now. Patrick Henry trying to put a score on the board before the third quarter comes to a close. And they have the football now on the Golden Bears 19. Johnson the eye back in the backfield. Moss drops, looks to throw in the middle. He's into coverage, and it's knocked away. Bears with some good coverage down around the 5-yard line. Clock will stop with 39 seconds now to play in the third quarter.
That makes was that
And,
Moss that threw that?
Yep, that was, and then we have a penalty marker that I didn't see, an interference. Yeah. Which will move the ball half the distance to the goal line and put it just inside the 10 and make it a first down and 10, and I believe an interference call in that secondary by the Bears. And the Patriots will have it first down and goal now with 39 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Bonner now in a quarterback, and he will go under center. Pfister in the backfield, along with Johnson. Bears jump off sides on the interior of that line.
Ruh-roh.
When things start to go south, they start to go deep south. And the 5-yard penalty makes it now first and goal at the 5-yard line. Bears have done a pretty good job of keeping Patrick Henry off the scoreboard here in the third quarter, Chris, and staying away from that running clock. Last time the Patriots were down this deep, they were able to get the ball back over on downs. This time they will pitch to Johnson left side, and he's in. Donnie Johnson with a 5-yard touchdown run around the left end. Devontae Royster had a shot at him down there. But like so many other times here tonight, Johnson kind of gave him a head fake and a hip fake, and then just blew right on by him. And with that score, now 32-0. Patriots over top of the Bears with 35 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
Hey, Bob. Bobby.
Two-point conversion. Bonner trying to get around the corner. He won't get there. And I'll tell you what, that has been the only thing so far that I have seen that the Bears have really won. They've won that two-point conversion all night long, and past that, it's a 32-0 lead right now for Patrick Henry with 35 ticks left in the third quarter as we walk away here from BryanSports.com.
32-0, and that drive for Patrick Henry, 12 plays, 80 yards in 5 minutes and 15 seconds, capped off by Johnson's 5-yard touchdown return. Jim, young Mr. Johnson has 212 yards on 26 carries.
Wow.
And 5 touchdowns.
Oh, my goodness. Here's one that I got from Mr. Bryce. He says, how about Dave and Nate Rose of the early 90 Montpelier Locos playoff teams, the greatest running backs in NWAL history?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, when they were still in the NWA.
And that was
yeah,
back
that doesn't count. So
Yeah, and everybody else wasn't in yet at that point.
Well, that's back in the day when they were running behind that all-American offensive line anchored by young Christopher Bryce. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Was there a penalty on, or the T blew? What happened?
Yeah, we had a kickoff attempt here
I
that
think we needed the ball.
everything got reset. And
I don't understand why.
with 33 seconds to go, the
time?
ball was kicked. I don't think everybody was ready. There are no flags on the field at all. The ball placed back on the tee at the 40, and the Bears waiting to get this football back.
So there should be 2 more seconds on the clock. Not that it matters, but
It's been a short kick all night long. I would expect probably the same type of effort here. Little pop-up that will be fielded by Jones on the run at the 35, the 40, and across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Josh Jones will be upset and tumbled right there, and it'll be Bears ball first down and 10 with 23 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout here on BryanSports.com. Blues Creek back in here under center as he'll drop and throw deep again into coverage, and I'll tell you, there's got to be interference on that one, and there is. Handkerchief was thrown in the air, as I believe that was Reddick, J.J. Reddick, and he had no idea where that football was, but he was bound and determined he was going to bounce up and down in the air and wave that hand enough that maybe he was going to get lucky and knock that one away. And much to his dismay, the official said, don't think so, guys. Pass interference, 15 yards. We'll move it into PH territory. Put it down at the 43-yard line, first down and 10 with 2 seconds to go, 1 second to go, and that will do it there for the third quarter. So 3 are in the books. Bears trail 32-0 here at BryanSports.com. As we get ready for the fourth quarter here, football on BryanSports.com. Bears find themselves on the wrong end of a 32-0 score. 12 minutes to play here in this football game, and the Bears right at the line of scrimmage. They're ready to play some football right now. Patriots just coming off the sideline. Bears lined up, ready to go. Blues Creek again, the quarterback. He's got triples here on the home side. Single receiver to the top, and Damon Belt's the only running back in the backfield. Blues drops. He'll have some time. Now he's going to run out of time, and he's going to be dropped right at the midfield stripe. Trey Zimmer, the young man that made the tackle here for the Montpelier. Bryce got me off my game right now with that Montpelier thing, man. You know how that works. You just give me.
We didn't have to talk about them this year.
You just give me that one suggestion, and it's there for the rest of the night. Peters and Jones go to the top. Color all by himself on the bottom. Creek drops back. Now he's got trouble, and he's going to fall down inside the 35-yard line at the 32-yard line. Blues Creek ran out of time, thought he was going to do that little spin move and head towards the visitors' dressing room, and unfortunately, there were just too many red shirts around him. He had no escape route and was knocked down for a big loss inside the 35 at the 34. So it is now third down and a very familiar 32. We've seen this a couple times this year, as the Bears have to go all the way into PH territory,
Difference
down
is,
inside the 35.
We used to have a play that we could get this on.
Yes, we did. Creek going to try to make it happen. He's going to run out of time. He fires one up. He's got Josh Jones in midfield, and Jones will be ripped down in Patrick Henry territory at about the 48-yard line. And I'll tell you what, how Blues Creek got that one away is beyond me. He looked like he was about ready to go down, and that ball just got kind of shoved out of a pile.
And it looked like he got roughed afterwards.
So the pass was complete. It sets up a fourth down now and a manageable 15 for the Bears. Creek again. He has some time. Throws it across the middle. Color. And we're not going to call that one, I guess. Wow. Color went up. He got bumped pretty good. And instead, it will be an incompleted pass. The ball will go over on downs. Official right there on the spot.
Interesting.
And that was, let's see here. Vanderbush was the young man on the coverage. We'll call it tight coverage. And the fourth down play will give the football back to Patrick Henry, first down and 10. Under 9.5 to play here once this one gets fired up. Backs on both sides, and they'll hand it to Pfister this time, and Pfister will be knocked down for a loss of a couple in the backfield. Bears still playing hard all the way down. That was Clayton Farrell that made that tackle.
That's something that you have to give him credit for. Definitely.
I agree. I mean, again, for a year like this one, you can ask and you can think. You got a new coach, you got a new system, you got everything to learn, and you've got a bunch of young kids learning it. This is not a team that has tanked it at all, and I've talked to several of the parents this year, and I can tell you this, just talking to a couple of them the other day, these guys still enjoy going to practice, enjoy coming out and playing some football. Completed pass will go all the way down to the 40. Moss gets it out to Fennell, and Fennell gets down to the 40-yard line. That will move the chains with 8:45, and the clock is rolling here at Hamler. But, yeah, this is a football team that's young. They understand that. They still have a lot of enthusiasm. Juniors and sophomores and a couple of freshmen out there playing right now. You got to take your lumps every now and then. Then you got to go into the weight room in the off season, and you have to work out. You get a little stronger, get a little tougher, learn from your mistakes, and then you come back next year and try to play a little bit better. And that's exactly what Coach Redhead will try to do with his football team. Deem with the carry, and he gets right back to the line of scrimmage. And then just as I'm ready to whistle everything kind of dead, the pile moves, and Deem actually moves that football into the 38. Harold with the tackle for the Bears.
I thought he was down. His knee never must have touched.
They'll give him 2, and I think you're right, Chris. He kind of got in the wash in the middle of that line, and all of a sudden the line went forward, and he went forward with it. Second down at about 8. Clock rolls with 7:42 to play here in this football game. Moss again in that shotgun look, and he'll turn and hand it off.
24.
Going to be time to start checking some new numbers. 24 is Jordan Boyer Jr., 5'10", $161. And you got to believe that guys like Donnie Johnson are done for the night. Fighting those injuries all year long. Last thing you need from your star running back is to tweak something here in a 32-0 football game where the clock is running.
It's not 3rd and 1, right?
Third down at about 7 right now.
Just making sure that I was.
Yeah, you're good. You're not having a Funderburg moment there at this time here, Christopher. How's that, huh? Everything's going well. Bonner keeps it. Rolls around the right end. He's got room, middle of the field at the 15, and he's going all the way for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. It looked like Bonner was trying to hand that football off. There was nobody there to hand it to. So he just ended up going around the right end, then cut it to the center of the football field and took it to the house. And just like that, it's 38-0.
That 37-yard run, I think.
37 yards for Mitch Bonner.
Wow.
In a play that looked like maybe it was broken a little bit. Well, maybe that was just a quarterback sweep with a real bad fake. I don't know. Bonner under center looking for the 2 again. And he will get this one. As he'll get Fennell in the end zone for 2. And that'll move that score to 40-0. So Fennell with the catch for the extra point, the first extra point of the night. And Mr. Eric Herman has some scores for us.
We do have some scoreboard updates. Liberty Center Swanton now tied at 21 apiece.
It's going to be a good game.
Wasion still over Evergreen 29-7. Delta 42, Archibald 7. It's Defiance trailing Van Wert 42-19. Bluffton 21, Crestview 16. Hicksville 12, Ayersville 7. It's Wayne Trace 42 or Wayne Trace 12, Tenora 42.
Ayersville needs to win that game.
Whoop.
Ayersville needs to win that game in order to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's one of their playoff games, and then have to play Tenora, as we said, next week to capture a definite. And I believe is the way that was falling out. Edgerton Holgate 0-0. I guess Chris said he's having trouble finding that score right now, so they're probably maybe a little different than that. Montpelier still leads Eden 7-6. And Perrysburg 18, Napoleon 15. And in the ALCS, it's Toronto 0, Kansas City 2, top of 4th.
There you go. And I can just see Chris Bryce right now. You know, he's got that Montpelier jersey underneath that tux jacket. He's sitting in the back of his limo right now as this little squibbler.
Watching the baseball game.
Yeah, we'll be down by the Bears right at the 30-yard line. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a fashionable young man, that Christopher Bryce, you know. Do you have your gray poupon, Chris, back there in the is the driver gone to get you that for your sandwich?
We'll have to get him some for the Subway that we'll take back for him.
There you go. So Bears will have the football, 1st and 10, ball right at the 31-yard line. Clock down to 6:25 and running. Blues Creek in at quarterback. He'll drop back. He's been in the entire second half. He has some trouble now. He'll run up and let go of the ball, and it'll be just a little bit high. The one thing about Blues is he does have quite an arm, man. He can get that ball down the field. That ball was thrown over Zach Novus's head. So quarterbacks kind of have swapped places here in this second half as Zach went out to the slot position that Blues was playing the entire first half.
Well, the officials can't hear me. I'm glad I can't. I think he was over the line.
That's a good possibility.
I think he was like 1.5 yards, 2 yards over the line.
He was very close. Creek will roll towards the home side. He'll drop this one off, and he's got his completion to Colt Arthur across the 40-yard line, and Colt will step out of bounds. I'm going to say about the 43. I think they're going to move the chains. Yep, there they go. They're going to
Pick
move
up a
those
13.
around.
It was a 13-yard pass.
So they'll actually mark it right around the 45-yard line. It'll be first down now and 10
All right, well,
for the
it'll be a
Golden
15-yard
Bears.
pass.
That was kind of confusing all the way around. You couldn't really see where he stepped out of bounds because he caught it here on the Patrick Henry sideline. And then the officials and the chain gangs trying to decide where they're going to put that football down. Creek throws again, opposite sideline. Got his man, 40-yard line, out of bounds goes,
That's
I believe,
Jones.
Josh Jones. So Jones picks up a bunch there as he's inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
Jones now with 35 yards receiving.
Another first down for the Bears. And the moral victory, if nothing else, if you can put a crooked number up on that scoreboard here at Hamler tonight, before the night's over. Creek, plenty of time, drops it across the middle to Jones, and Jones with double coverage is going to have it run in.
Wow.
Jones down around the 7-yard line, had 2 red shirts all around him, went up in the air, pulled it down, and once he got his feet, he was able to basically take about 3 steps and walk into that end zone for the touchdown as both the Patriots went for the steal. Jones came down with the ball, and it's now 40-6. And Josh Jones, after scoring the touchdown, will get an opportunity to kick the extra point. Blues Creek to hold. Bad snap. Jones picks it up. Throws into the end zone, and it's 2.
Wow.
Hausch is the young man that is on the receiving end of the 2 points, so somebody yelled whatever their code red signal is for the Golden Bears, and Hausch came off that right end spot and planted himself down into the right corner of the end zone, and as Jones rolled to his right, he was able to find him standing there all by himself as the Patriots really kind of caught off guard with that one, and it's 40-8 now. You want to know how to make the 2-point conversion, Chris? There you go.
There you go.
PH struggled with it all night long, about the only thing they struggled with here tonight.
4 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, capped off by Jones' 38-yard touchdown.
Got to wonder what happens next week, because I'll tell you, Blues has blown a little life into this very, very lackluster offense this year. It's been a tough year trying to score points, and Blues has had it moving all second half here. We could have had another touchdown, the double coverage interception on the 2 drives ago that basically looked like maybe the Bears were going to get their first score at that point in the night. And instead it takes them all the way down to 4 minutes and 25 seconds to be able to come up with that first score of the evening. And it makes the game 40-8. And the Bears, I would bet, with Jones as good as what he is at onside kicking right now, we're going to see something that's going to be really funky here and bounce and hop and skip and jump. And maybe Golden Bears be able to come up with a football. But don't believe they have enough time to be able to pull one of those out. Little bouncer, it's on the ground, but I think it's Patriots ball. Bounced up and hit 54, 50. Damian Lanzer. Lanzer was the young man that had it hit him off his shoulder pads and then fell right in front of him, and he's able to fall on the football before the Bears got there. So the ball will be Patrick Henry's. The clock already moving with 4:15 as they come out here to take over the. And we have all kinds of new guys out here now for Patrick Henry, and we'll have to just try to find a couple of names and numbers as we go. 14, the new quarterback now, A.J. Healy. Healy's a freshman, 5'8", $164. Adam Harold with the tackle as a first run goes for about a yard, maybe 2, and I didn't catch who you handed that off to there, Chris. Did you catch a number on that one?
I did not.
Again, brand new numbers. In number 9 is Evan Brent. He's a sophomore.
Let's see who lines up, because it's probably the same kid.
Young bunch on the field right now for Patrick Henry. They'll turn and hand. And a nice pickup to the 35-yard line. And let's see if we can catch
22.
that. 22.
20.
Ethan Spratt. Spratt, another freshman, 5'7". And Spratt sets up a third down situation now for the Patriots as the ball on the 45-yard line of the Golden Bears. Third down at about 4. Clock under 3 minutes now in this contest, and the Bears still find themselves down 32 points.
They're 3 of 7 from third down. I'm sorry, 5 of 7 from third down.
Handoff, counter play. 25 the run of this time, and that is Brock Gherkin. Gherkin got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe advanced it for about a yard. It'll set up fourth down now in 3. Brandon Farrell, the tackler for the Golden Bears. And with the clock at 2 minutes and 17 seconds and a fourth down and 3 for the Patriots, they're going to keep their offense on the field.
They have not converted on third down or fourth down tonight, 0-1.
Logan Schweibert is the wide receiver to the top 13. 2 running backs now again in the backfield. Quarterback goes under center, and the Bears jump off sides.
Of course they did.
Devontae takes the step. And that is going to pretty much do it as the clock goes down under a minute and 45. 5-yard walk-off will give the Patriots a first down. Clock will move at a minute and 37.
By the way, Jim, 6 penalties for 65 yards.
Devontae Royster gets to take the jog over to the sideline and talk to the coach. And Patrick Henry comes to the line of scrimmage with a minute and 18 seconds and counting. Time for a couple more plays here. The pitch, left side, not much room. Bears sniff that one out. No gain. Spratt, the running back, and again, all of a sudden you're seeing these young guys here for the Patriots. And they don't move quite as quick and quite as well as what their predecessors did. Last ball game here tonight for the Patriots for the season, unless they're happen to get a chance to get into the playoffs and host a playoff game at some point in time. They'll go on the road next week to Wauseon. The Bears will be in Liberty Center next week. And we will wrap up our season at LC next Friday night. And running play will go for a loss of a couple. Boyer this time the carrier, and he'll lose a couple of yards, and they're down now under 30 seconds. And the Patriots at this moment do not have to run another play. Game clock at 17, play clock at 22. And if Coach Kirkendall so chooses, he can end this ball game right now. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Patriots will come to the line of scrimmage, and they will get one more play off. 3, 2, 1, ball game. Nope, they won't. They will look like they're going to run a play, but they will not run one. And both teams now will line up to shake hands. Ball game in the books here from Hamler tonight. The Bears fall 40-8 to the Patrick Henry Patriots, and we'll come back and wrap up all the scores from around the area and take a look at the final stats when we return here on BryantSports.com. Well, back here at Hamler, Jim, Chris, Eric, and in the penthouse of the BMU Towers back in Bryan, Ohio. Christopher Bryce, who's been feeding us scores all night long. Tough night tonight, guys, for the Bears as they trail all night long after that safety early in the ball game. They had the football early on. Here comes my buddy Chet, Big Chet Dangler coming across here. I'm sure he revved the crowd up all night long, the best that he possibly could. But it started with a safety, Christopher, and then it just kind of rolled downhill from there, didn't it?
Yes, it did. So let's look at some statistics. Bryan with 9 first downs, 2 by the rush, 5 by the pass, 2 penalty. Patrick Henry had 24 first downs, 12 by the rush, 8 by the pass, 4 by the penalty. Rushing, 19 attempts for 8 yards for Bryan. And Patrick Henry had 45 attempts for 302 yards. Passing, Bryan combined was 8 of 15 for 154 yards, 2 picks. Patrick Henry 8 of 9 for 83 yards, no picks. Total plays, Bryan ran 39, Patrick Henry ran 63. Total yards 162 for Bryan, 385 for Patrick Henry. Bryan, time of possession 17 minutes and 19 seconds. Patrick Henry, 29-31. Third down of conversions, 2 of 8 for Bryan, 5 of 8 for Patrick Henry. Neither team had a fourth down conversion. They're both 0 of 2. Penalties, Bryan was penalized 6 times for 65 yards. Patrick Henry 3 times for 40 yards. Individual statistics, they weren't pretty. Leading rusher was Damon Belts with 11 yards. He had those all in the first half. Rittenhouse had 10 yards. That's it. Passing, 27 yards for Nobis, 127 for Creek. Creek came in the second half, threw 5 passes, actually threw 7. He was 5 of 7 with an interception. He had 127 yards of total passing, and his favorite target was Jones at 73 yards. And so he was pretty happy. On the other side of things with Patrick Henry, leading rusher was Johnson, 212 yards on 26 carries. And next leading rusher was Bonner with 56 yards on 4 carries. Bonner was 7 of 6 with 47 yards passing. Moss 2 of 2 for 36 yards passing. Leading receiver on the night, Bonner with 29 and Wiss with 28. And they were penalized 3 times for 40 yards. So that's about all she wrote at this point.
For Patrick Henry, that takes him to 5-4 now in the season. For the Bears, it drops him to 0-9. 1 week left to go in the regular season. Maybe there's a situation yet for PH where they can sneak their way into the playoffs. But for the Golden Bears, 1 more game and done for this season. And I'm sure Coach Redhead and his guys will be happy to play that one last game over at Liberty next Friday night and then wrap this thing up and take it to the house for a year. Kind of reconnect with one another over the wintertime, rethink a few things, and get ready for the season, for the 2016 season here, when I'm sure you'll see a much better football effort here out of these guys after a year under the tutelage there of Coach Redhead. I think everything will get better as we go. Mr. E, you have any scores here, any finals that past that we have that we can pass on to anybody?
You just
right
took
this
your
point in
microphone
time?
out. Look at you. Look, he's
you
cleaned
go.
it up.
Here you go. Yeah,
We still have broadcast here, man.
He's on his way to the house, man, right now.
It's a long drive back to Bryan. I was
Yes,
ready to
it
go.
is.
It is Swanson over Liberty Center with 3:37 left to go in the fourth. Wauseon 36, Evergreen 7. That's in the fourth. 42-7 Archibald under Delta. I got to read these the right way here. Van Wert over Defiance 56-25. Bluffton 40, Crestview 16. Ayersville and Hicksville still 13-12 with Ayersville leading that one. Tenora now up 49-12 over Wayne Trace. Eden 6, Montpelier 20. And it's Perrysburg 26, Napoleon 15. All of those are in the fourth quarter.
What was that Swanton scored? I didn't catch that one there at the beginning.
You mean the one that I totally blew? It's
Yeah.
24-21, Swanton over LC with 3:37 left to go.
Okay.
And Toronto has scored. It's now 2-1, top of the fourth.
Sounds like fun. Well, I'll tell you what, a big thank you to all the folks here at Patrick Henry tonight. Treated us extremely well as we got a chance to do the ball game here on the plaza level tonight rather than up in the penthouse. Big thank you to all of our sponsors as well. Wheelan Automotive, dealership quality at aftermarket pricing. Tompkinson BMW, home of the ultimate driving machine. The Plaza Motel, your home away from home. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, all types of service for all types of people. Northwest State Community College, helping you take that next step to a new job or a new career. Krill Funeral Home, commitment to service is our #1 priority. Genesis Healthcare, Bryan Center, we are your friends, we are your family, and your neighbors. Bryan Municipal Utilities, your local cable and high-speed internet provider. Bryan Ford Lincoln, we're just down the road from high prices. And the Bryan Athletic Boosters, always backing our athletes. Good luck, Bears, all season long. That's going to do it for us. We had Big Aaron up here in the booth with us. Big Chet down on the field. Chris Bryce down at the home base there in Bryan, Ohio, feeding the scorers out of his tuxedos with Cheeto dust all over his shoulders, I believe. The big yellow guy, they call him. He looks like one of the big minions, basically, back there in Bryan right now. For Chris Malinga,
That's a truck. That's a truck that's yellow.
there you go. For Chris Malinga, I'm Jim Funderburg. We'll talk to you next Friday night when we travel to Liberty Center for the final game of the season here on BryanSports.com.